Thank you so much, Linda, for being a guest on my new online
Thank
show,
you for
Roots of
having
the
me.
Spirit. It's a complete honor. And here we are at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, and we're backstage at your amazing show.
Yes,
So
I'm very excited. Very
thank
excited to
you.
be a part of your show.
Wonderful. Thank you. So I'm just going to kick it off,
Okay.
and I read about your fashion tour. Can you give me a little bit of information about the whole tour?
Well, we started out, it was Atlanta, Georgia, for Atlanta International Fashion Week. We from there moved to Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, which was, that was really amazing. That was my first time being there, and they had incredible bands like Ludacris headlining, AWOL Nation, and I was the headliner designer there. So that was, like I said, that was an incredible opportunity, and I was excited to be a part of it. From there, we of course, here we are at New York Fashion Week. So this is the big return for Rowe. So I'm very excited, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be in such a prestigious place as the Alvin Ailey. So it was it was my go-to for the comeback, so to speak. So I had to be here, and we're going to end up in Little Rock, Arkansas, with Designing Hope, which is a fashion show I do every year in honor of my foundation, Designing Hope for Young Burn Survivors.
So I read that you've been designing since you were 5 years old.
Oh yes, 5 years old. I started with my mom. She was a seamstress, and she created some of the most amazing pieces. And I used to sit at her heels with the needle and thread and her scraps, and I just started sewing literally with the hand needle and thread. And so eventually she took notice of that, bought me a little tabletop sewing machine, and as they say, the rest is history.
I heard something about a red sewing machine.
Yes, the little red sewing machine, and I have a great story behind that. It was, I don't have no idea what happened to it, but a couple of years ago, I opened the box for Christmas, and my husband had tracked down like the exact replica and got it for me for Christmas. So it's in a box
So
at home.
beautiful.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So can you take me on a journey? You know, you at 5 years old decided that you wanted to start sewing. Can you tell me about the subsequent years?
Well, I mean, I didn't really have a name to. I knew what I liked doing, you know, and so I think it was probably 10, 11. I saw Mahogany, Diana Ross, and I was like, oh my God, that is a real job. So that's when I actually put a name to, when I grow up, I'm going to be a fashion designer. Before then, I just loved, you know, making doll clothes. So yes, I love Diana Ross, and it's like she's like on my bucket list to meet, because she put that title to what it was that I wanted to be. But you know, I went, college career was, I was a buyer, you know, but I knew in the back of my mind, when the first opportunity, I'm going to branch off and start designing. And I launched at Mercedes-Benz the first time, 2010. I did the Rowe collection, and it just, I mean, it's just been steamrolling ever since. And
Wow.
yeah.
And that's the particular show that I read up on. Was
Right.
your
Yes, the very
Mercedes-Benz.
first one was 2010.
That's awesome. So how did you end up in Little Rock?
My husband's job. Yes, my husband's career took us there. I'm actually from Texas, and so I moved there. We moved there from Dallas, and but Little Rock has been very good to me. I did not think that was going to happen for the fashion industry in Little Rock, but it's been a blessing, and I think when it's your calling, it happens no matter where you are, and that's exactly the route that it went.
You went to the University of Central Arkansas?
Yes, I did. I started at UCA. That's where I met my husband. He was military, so we kind of bounced around quite a bit, and I ended up at Murray State University, and they actually had a design program, but not where I could major in design, so I became a buyer.
How do you take those steps from being a buyer to stepping into the industry?
Well, like I said, I always knew that I wanted to be a designer, so I just kind of used that as a stepping stone. I learned that side of the business. I knew what the buyers were looking for. I knew the quality that I wanted to put into my work, because I knew when a sales rep came to me, the first thing I did was flip it over, look into the seams. Is it put together well? So that kind of built the foundation for when I get to that point and I'm a designer, I know exactly what to put into it and what the stores are going to be looking for. So I just used it to help me get where I wanted to go.
That's awesome. So describe your inspiration and describe your style.
My inspiration, let's see, my mom always said I had an old soul. I can remember being very young and admiring Jackie O. And so that is my style, timeless classics with contemporary style, meaning the mother may buy it, but her daughter's going to constantly be in her closet. That's my goal when I design, is that, you know, it's those pieces that will transcend time, but they're still contemporary enough that my daughter says, "Oh, Mom, I love this. Can I wear it?" And we kind of go through that, and I get her input on a lot of the pieces because I want to mirror that in everything that I do, and she's phenomenal at helping Mommy do that.
That is so beautiful.
Yes.
So you've been very open about speaking about a devastating house fire that you were
Right.
involved in as a young person. Can you talk about how that has shaped your life and as it relates to designing hope and the work that you do? That is super inspirational.
Well, I have no recollection of it. I was 2 years old, so I attribute all of that to my mother. And I had an awesome family, my mom, dad, and there were 6 of us. But my mom was very adamant about, you are no different than anyone else. You have to follow your dreams. You don't let anyone tell you no. So everything I am is because of what she instilled in me. So I never lived my life as though no was an option. And as she would always say, can't is not an option. That doesn't exist. I don't know what that means. So you're not going to. So that just, again, laid a foundation for my life and for who I was going to be. And so me becoming a designer, and that's where the designing hope part comes from, is because I realized once when I had the opportunity to go to Camp Sunshine, which is a camp for burn survivors, and the kids, and intermingling with them, and just seeing how I made an impact on them, that I didn't allow this to stop me. And they're like, "Oh, then if you can do it, I can do it." And so I created the foundation, and hopefully it won't just stop there with them. I've made some incredible partnerships with the Phoenix Burn Society, and we have a couple other things on our plate that could take it global. But it's a cause that is often overlooked, but however, I think it's one of the top tragedies in the world is burns, and and so it's education and advocacy on any level is so important, and that's what I'm here for.
That's amazing. Wonderful. Can you tell me about your spring collection?
My spring collection. I was inspired actually by one particular piece, which was the jewels in the sequin fabric. And so it's just, which you're wearing my color, by the way.
Nice.
And so it was just inspired by the jewels and the elegance of that collection. And then I added in some fun and flirty, inspired by my daughter, of course. So it's a little bit of elegance in springtime, and floral, and just flirty fun. And it's very, very, I hope you like it.
Talk to me about what the legacy that your mother passed down to you that you hope to instill in your children.
Again, that she instilled that faith, like unshakable faith. I still have not met anyone with the faith that my mother had. And she, just as a mother, I can imagine them coming to me and telling me that your child is not going to have a good quality of life. And my mom says, that's what you think, And so for me, I want to be able to instill in my kids that no matter what obstacle life throws in front of you, you can overcome it. And there's nothing too hard for God, and you have to just keep going. You take what life has thrown at you, and you don't take no for an answer. You don't say, I don't even allow him to say can't. My son gets angry because I'm like, what does that mean? I'm sorry, I don't know what that word is. But that's what's important, is that I instill that legacy of I can do anything into them.
That's beautiful. You pick Jackie O or First Lady Michelle Obama. If you were to design a gown for them, what would it look like?
I'm going to say Michelle, because First Lady Michelle, because I love her style, and I think she's one of the most stylish icons since the Jackie O. There's never, some of them have been great, but her style and her ability to to be creative, I think encompasses everything that I am. She can be a little trendy, but she's very elegant. So I would love to do a very sophisticated gown for her that, you know, a rich hue that would show off those incredible Michelle Obama arms. and she's such a great physique. So, and she's a powerful woman, a strong woman, someone you can look up to. So I would love to dress her.
And the signature question of my show.
All right.
What are the roots of your spirit?
The roots of my spirit. The roots of my spirit are my faith. Because without it, even though I'm strong, there are those times when you know you're not strong. And if it weren't for my faith, I wouldn't be able to get through those times. And so I lean on my faith to get me through everything. So definitely.
Well, thank you so very much, and I wish you the best of luck for your Spring 2016 collection.
Thank you.
Thank you. You look ravishing.
Thank you.
Can I get a hug?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
Thank you. I
I'm
feel
honored
so
that you
full.
came.
I feel so inspired.